Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Wine Wednesday, where we get to shamelessly geek out about all things wine and Web3. I'm going to mute my cell phone, and Dave is going to mute his dog in a very animal-friendly way, of course. Okay. So we get to geek out about all things wine and Web3, and we get to drink at the same time, except for me, because I'm being super lame again as dry January continues. Da-dum.
Are you saying I'm drinking alone? Is it just me?
Actually, yeah. Yeah, you are. How does that feel, Dave?
Never stopped you
Very good.
before.
I was gonna
It's
say.
more of this this delicious Ribena for me. So great. You guys are both dry? Fine.
Well, you know what? Look, never show up to a party empty-handed. I'm not drinking alcohol, but I am still drinking wine, which is, I know. Does that even make any sense? And actually,
No.
this is cool, guys. Seriously. Innovation doesn't stop with blockchain and wine. There's innovation in this bottle, so I will tell you about it. Okay, you're welcome. I know you're on the edge of your seats. So I'm drinking a 0% sparkling wine from Germany from a producer called Colonna Null, and it's actually cool because I know a lot of you are probably going to think like, what a waste of an effort, but they actually make the wine, like they make a full wine, they let it ferment, they make wine. And then they take away the alcohol, which is different than a lot of 0% alternatives where they just don't let it ferment and you're basically just drinking like sparkling grape juice with lots of sugar. So the idea here is that you get all of the components of a wine and then you gently remove the alcohol with vacuum distillation, which basically just means they put a vacuum, let's say, imagine this, put a vacuum on the tank, suck out all the extra air, so there's low air pressure in the tank, and then they heat it up gently at low temperatures to remove the alcohol and try and preserve the actual aromas of the wine as best as they can. Because a lot of the aromas that you get in a finished wine with alcohol, a lot of those aromas come through fermentation, which is the process to create alcohol. So this is the closest thing you'd get to a wine with zero alcohol, and I think it's kind of cool. Anyways, Dave, tell us about your real wine.
Jana just tried to get us excited about like Heineken 0,0, but for wine.
Yeah.
Which there's a place for that. I pulled into an airport lounge. I had just landed someplace at 5 a.m. and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people drinking beer, and I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized the Heineken 0.0 on draft.
Yeah. Well, I, on the other hand, am drinking nothing but the finest wine grapes, yeast, thyme, and oak. So it's the good stuff. It's Pagos d'Angui. It's actually a really nice wine out of Ribera del Duero. It's it's a 2020, so it's a little bit young for me. But I know the winemaker. I know the owners. It's a really fantastic place. I've been there, and I really enjoy it. I have a lot of it, so I decided that I'd pop a cork today and see how the 2020 is tasting. And it's very nice, but I'd give it 3 more years. I think I'm going to wait until 2028 before I open the next bottle.
I'm also drinking a 2020. I wouldn't give it 3 more years.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Also, Dave, I challenge you. This is your homework assignment for next Wednesday. Dave is one day he's going to show up and not be drinking a Spanish wine. I know it's hard to imagine.
Are you kidding?
Dave is
no, but I drink a lot. I don't always come. It was actually between this and wine, and I decided on this.
Go back through all the Wine Wednesdays, please. Call him out.
I've had Australian wine and South African wine and Napa wine, and
yours, Dave.
you just want me to drink something from Germany, and I'm telling you, like, probably not going to happen. You find me a decent German Pinot, and then I'll open it.
Do you know what? Speaking of opening things, we're going to go off track for a second here because, and this is not traditionally how you would give somebody a gift. But Dave went away over the holidays. And Dave, I sent you something that's kind of like a bit of a, it's a nice thing, but it's also kind of a prank thing. And it came back. And so hold on. You guys talk amongst yourselves, okay? Hang on. And remember, there's people here. All right? Be good entertainers and educators.
Do you think she sent me something? Like, let's take a guess. I'm gonna guess she sent me something German and dry.
It was like a German pet gnat.
Yeah.
You wish. No, okay, this is not how you give someone a gift, but I'm going to open your...
You're going to open my gift? That's nice. That's fine. That's all good.
Okay. Are you ready? Any guesses in the comments? It's not a bottle. This is
definitely not a bottle. Maybe it's a pouch. I'm going to guess that what's in there is some sort of a
book.
Leather bladder for wine.
You mean like a goat scrotum?
Yeah.
Whole other thing, guys. We'll get to that another time. No, it's the education edition of a puzzle about the German wine regions, Dave. Because you need to broaden your horizons, and it's not all about Spain. Anyway,
it's lovely. That looks lovely, and I'm gonna have to get. And I appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
That's a very nice and thoughtful gift.
Well,
and when I put it together, I will frame it and hang it on the wall.
And then you can show everybody when we do our Wine Wednesdays, but you can't appreciate it too much because I didn't actually give it to you yet. So.
And I'll promptly forget all of the wine regions that I can't pronounce because they're 17 syllables long.
Yeah, that is a thing. That is a thing. That is not a helpful thing, Germany. This does not make you guys more attractive in an export sense. Okay.
Well, here's what I promise, Jana. I will get together. I'll open a nice bottle. I will find a nice bottle of German wine. I will open it up. And I'll sit with my family and we will put that puzzle together. And I am convinced that we will have the best time doing it.
Oh my God, I hope the guys from 30 are watching this in the best time. Best time. Okay, that's another inside joke. I just butchered it.
We will get Dave some proper German Pinot, maybe some Daniel Twardowski from the Mosel, or some others from the R.
Some Blaufränkisch. I want some Blaufränkisch.
Not in Austria, Dave.
That's Austrian.
Yeah.
All right, let's just stop because Dave's going to end up embarrassing himself.
Do you know?
He's going to be like, that German Zweigelt I had was delicious.
You know what he's doing right now? Everyone knows what he's doing because anyone who's seen one of these knows that when Dave turns around and starts digging over there under the bookshelf, he's looking for his wine maps, and I think he's about to try and prove that Blaufränkisch is in Germany, and you're not.
No, I don't have German. I don't have Germany or Austria. So this is going to come in very useful. I'm going to put it together. I'm going to frame it. I'm going to hang it on the wall. That's what's going to happen.
Yes.
I'm not very good at puzzles, but.
Well, first I have to actually give it to you. So,
Okay.
First things first.
Awesome.
All right. And Rodolfo.
Bring it to Miami.
Oh, Alpha. Man, if I was drinking real wine, that would have already spilled. But anyway. No, you know what, guys? We're doing intros first. So now that we've been talking
late than later.
Minutes. Yep. Today I am joined by our visionary CEO, David Garrett. David Garrett, can you please tell us about yourself?
Hi, I'm Dave Garrett, one of the co-founders of dVIN Labs. My background is I was a tech guy. Sold my company and dumped it all into a vineyard and a winery in Argentina. And since then, I've been immersed and obsessed with great wine. And I've worked in the industry kind of on all corners of the globe, and very, very excited to be working on this project because I think it's going to be incredibly valuable for an industry that I've fallen in love with so many of the people all over the world in the wine industry, and that's one of the reasons that I'm passionate and excited about this. So,
yay!
Thanks, Jana. Cheers. Salute.
Cheers. Yeah, Dave's been pushing the boundaries in wine and blockchain longer than most people have known what blockchain is. So, go Dave. It wasn't an age thing. That's not what that was.
Fair enough.
No.
I wasn't taking it that way.
There's a little bit of edge. I think it's because I'm not drinking real wine. Again, I'm going to blame this on the 0% wine. Okay. So, and now we've got Rodolfo, another one of our co-founders at dVIN Labs. Rodolfo's got like the sixth sense for finding the most incredible, hard to find investment grade wines on the planet, all of them in pristine condition. So yeah, tell us about yourself, Rodolfo.
Well, I am. My trajectory is not as long as Dave, but that's because I was born after Dave was. That's nothing to relate it to age, of course. And I started off as a think tank and public policy person. Back then, my hair was uniformly brown. And then I decided to tackle innovation in the wine industry, and the gray hair started to come in slowly. I have started and sold companies in chain boutique wine retail, import, and wholesale, consulting, you name it. If it has to do with wine and innovation and somehow how do we do this better? How do we do this differently? I've been there. Some of these ventures with Dave and more recently with Jana. So delighted to be here with all of you.
Thanks, Rodolfo. Okay, and I'm Jana Kreilein. I am a certified wine expert and judge with a background in mostly digital wine communication and storytelling. So I completed my sommelier education in Toronto. I'm Canadian. And then I spent 4 years learning about winemaking and vineyard management and export and all kinds of fun things with the German customs paperwork, which was no fun, I will tell you that. And then I went on to complete my wine and spirits diploma in London. I wrote my thesis on climate change and winemaking and built my career traveling the world, helping some of the biggest wine brands communicate their stories across emerging digital platforms, social media, to mostly younger demographics, which was a lot of fun. I learned a lot doing that. I also studied film, and I worked on a couple of television projects, both in front of and behind the camera with some of the world's top sommeliers and collectors. Today, my focus is very much dedicated on the future of the industry. So kind of, working with Dave and Rodolfo to help unleash the potential that blockchain brings to this very old traditional industry. So that's it. That's us. And I think it's time to dive into today's topic, which, we've talked about the wines. We've introed ourselves. I think we're good to go. So, all right, let's get into it. Today, we are talking about the launch of RektWine.com. So if you're tuning in for the first time and you don't know what that is, Dave, can you give everyone a quick overview of RektWine.com, why it's such a game changer?
Sure. So there are lots and lots of benefits that you get from tokenizing wine. And if you go through all of our live streams for the last 3 years, we talk about everything from, anti-fraud and anti-counterfeit. So, authentication, authenticating wine to, provenance, to business intelligence, to loyalty programs, to customer acquisition. There's so many great benefits to tokenizing wine, but one of the ones that's I think is kind of the most important, and one that we're leaning in on right now, is the ability to have global price transparency and unified liquidity. So what does that all mean? So by tokenizing wine, what you have is the ability for those wines to be traded on any blockchain platform anywhere in the world, right? Because by tokenizing something, it's on the open blockchain. Just like your Bored Apes, you can trade them on OpenSea or Rarible or any number of different platforms. By tokenizing wine, it allows anyone to buy any tokenized wine anywhere in the world. So we think having that global price transparency and the unified liquidity is going to create a lot of opportunities in the wine world. And RektWine is really the first step of that. So we've been working with a negociant, a close friend of mine, close friend of ours now, and a negociant in Bordeaux. We've been working with for many years, and he's our guinea pig. He's launching the very first platform for tokenized wine to be bought and sold. And for the next little while, it's only being bought and sold using VinCoin, which is kind of exciting. It's pretty cool. The idea really is in the beginning, and until the token relaunch after the airdrops and all of the things that are going to happen over the course of the next little bit. This is a way for people to be able to use their VinCoin airdrops to be able to buy investment grade wine and invest in wine. And so this is the very, very first platform. There will be many coming. As we talked before, the next one will probably be out of Madrid. After that, out of the UK, then Switzerland, then the US, Dubai, Australia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Japan. Did I leave anything out? So we have trading platforms and marketplaces opening up in all of those jurisdictions all over the world that will all be trading, tokenized wine from dVIN using the dVIN protocol. So this is the very first trading platform using dVIN.
Powered by dVIN. Did you
Powered
say
by dVIN and using VinCoin?
Yes. Did you say USA?
Yeah, USA. Yeah, two very important partners in the USA.
Okay, cool. Well, that's exciting. Amazing. So, and I know we've been talking about this for a while. So what is happening today? Are we live?
We are live and we're very slow. Rodolfo, you want to talk about, we launched 2 wines today, is that right? Or there were 2 wines launched. We should stop saying we because it's actually Rekt that launched it, not us.
Exactly. So on Rekt, today, if you navigate over to RektWine.com, and I can show it in a moment, we have we are softly, gently, slowly ramping up, adding wines every day. Today will be the first 2 wines to be available to purchase with VIN on the platform. Two great examples, and that are in the usual dVIN and company or style. Rekt and our partners will follow suit and bring you things that are not only collectible but investment grade and under market value, so that there's real upside in the wines. And should you wish to trade the wine once you purchased it, you can certainly do that. Should you wish to down the road request the wine once the drinking window for that wine begins, and again, these are investment grade wines, so we're not exactly putting things here that are sort of barely hanging in there. These are things with a bright future. You'll be able to do that as well. So if you, I can share my screen now. If
Yeah.
The mistress of ceremonies and the and the one who pulls the strings, I think probably right now here on the platform allows me.
I feel like I need to change my screen name to Mistress of Ceremonies now. I'm gonna have to consider that. I would say go ahead and share your screen.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. And while you're doing that, I just want to verify. So the only way that you can buy wines on RektWine.com is with VIN, is with VinCoin. Is that right?
For now, yes. But Dave, maybe I don't know if you want to say a word. that's how we're starting. That's not going to be an exclusive condition for very long.
I think that's really in the short term. I mean, we've had conversations about this with the folks from Rekt. We think that it's fun and interesting to trade in Vincoin, but over time, Vincoin is probably going to be a lot more volatile
Yep.
than USD or other stablecoins. So more than likely, it'll all shift to trading in stablecoins. But again, that's kind of up to the RektWine folks.
I just got an error message from the platform. Can you guys see me?
Can still see your screen.
Okay. It's asking me to restart the studio, which I'm not going to do because if I do that, it will cut me off. So I'm going to do the demo and then I may have to quickly restart. So here I am at RektWine.com. You'll notice it's now fully loaded, no hurdles to get in. You would just simply type in the URL, come to the top right, sign in with your preferred Solana wallet, or with your phone number. It supports both that functionality if you are less Web3 inclined, or just grab Phantom or Backpack. I'm partial to Phantom. It asks me to confirm. I confirmed, and I'm in. That was as simple as that. And then I can go to view the collection on the top right, and you will see we should have here 6 bottles of Chateau Valandro 2020. This is Saint-Emilion Premier Grand Cru Classé B, which is the at almost the pinnacle of the for me, always some of the appellations they're like pyramids in my mind. So this is almost the pinnacle of the of Saint-Emilion, and Valandro is a and then we also have from Chateau Rayas, I would say the emperor of the Southern Rhone, their Pialade, which is a very high-end, extremely collectible Coturon. Both of these are very noteworthy vintages with a very long future. And there are presently 6 bottles available of each, and you would click on one and buy. If you want to buy, agree to the terms, click buy now. I won't do that because I don't want to take it away from somebody else. And if you don't have VIN on your wallet, you simply come to the top right. You go to top up VIN to top up your VIN balance and have enough VIN to grab a bottle. I was
Amazing.
asked to be very short. You can see the equivalent cost in euro or in dollars. Again, the only other thing I would say, guys, is bear with us. This is the I may have to this, but this is the first day that this is live. So
Okay.
if you find anything funny, let us know and we'll get right on it.
Cool.
And we've again, working with the folks at Rekt, we've kind of helped them to figure out like which wines to start profiling, and it's going to be very slow at first. So if you show up and all of the wines for that day are sold, which will probably happen pretty often, just wait until tomorrow, or you can make an offer on wine that's already been purchased by somebody. You're going to start seeing that wines can be purchased. Wines can be listed. Once you buy it, you can list it for sale at a higher price if you want to. Or you can, or if you see a wine that you want to buy, but it's not listed for sale, you can make an offer. So that's kind of those of you who have, traded NFTs on platforms like like Magic Eden or OpenSea or Rarible, you'll kind of get the idea. And we sort of, in working with the folks at Rekt, it was sort of built out that way on purpose so that it was pretty, we wanted it to be really familiar to people who are used to trading digital assets. But over time, I think what you'll see is that that it's going to look more like trading any other investment asset and less like trading NFTs. Like that's going to be the progression over time.
Yeah. And just the last thing, if you hold, so if you're a OG member of Club dVIN, or if for any reason through any activation that we've done over the past 3 or 4 years, if you hold a digital cork and that wine has never been shipped to you, if you haven't taken possession of the bottle and the wine still sits with a trusted custodian, then you can also list that bottle on one of these marketplaces.
Over time, not right now, but soon.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's zoom out for a second, because I think Dave just touched on a really interesting point. Over the past 5 years, we've seen a lot of things like meme stocks and NFTs and sports betting and prediction markets explode. So, we know people love trading things and seem to be very passionate about investing in culture. And we think that wine as RWA, wine as real world assets, is poised to become one of the next big opportunities. So let's maybe take a second, Dave, and do you want to give us a little bit of insight into why you think it's such a big opportunity?
Well, I was having a really interesting conversation with one of our advisors earlier today, actually. And he talked a lot about like how for a lot of people, especially a lot of young people, a lot of people have figured out ways to make money with their passions, and that has or to figure out ways to invest in invest in their passions, invest in their hobbies. You can you can have different opinions on whether or not that's a good thing, but what you've seen over the course of the last 5 years, and there's a kind of an interesting progression. Like in 2020 was kind of the year of the meme stock. Meme stocks kind of exploded, and then in 2021 it was really the year of NFTs. And NFTs became a way for people to invest in their hobbies or invest in art. People that had never had access to invest in art before were able to do that. In 2022, it was sports betting. You saw like sports betting, which in the States was illegal for forever. It started to become legal in different places in 2019, 2020, but 2022 was the year that you saw all of these, online sports betting websites take hold, and now it's become an enormous business. In 2023, it was meme coins really kind of got started, and you saw a ton of liquidity and lots of people start flowing into meme coins. And this past year, you saw what obviously meme coins are still a big thing, but the thing that kind of launched in 2024 was prediction markets, where people could start to invest, bet, gamble, whatever, but on kind of things that real life events. And so I think there was something like $2 billion invest or bet on the just the U.S. Presidential election. So like crazy stuff. And we think wine fits really interestingly into that, right? Like, it's a for a lot of people, it's a hobby, where a lot of people that like to drink wine or that love wine or that know something about wine also know that wine, investment grade wine, is not only a great investment. It's outperformed the S&P over the last 20 years. It's very close to it's outperformed gold, I think. Investment grade, great investment. But they also know that it's really inaccessible, really difficult to do. Most people that would want to invest in wine don't have the ability to do it. But by tokenizing wine, I think we open up a really interesting opportunity for people to, on the one hand, for people to be able to kind of invest in their passion, to invest in culture, to like start making money with their hobbies, or with something that they love. But the other thing that I think it really does for the wine industry, when I think about the wine industry, it creates just so much more interest, right? Like what we hear all the time in the industry is that this next generation of wine consumers, or especially wine investors, they have trouble. They have trouble accessing it. They're less interested. And I think that one of the reasons they're less interested is because most of the things that, the next generation invest in, like most of the things that they spend their time and money on, live here.
Mm-hmm.
And as of right now, investment grade wine, trading in wine, doesn't live there, right? Like, you got to call a guy if you want to invest in investment grade wine or rare wine. You got to know a guy, and you do it on the phone, and like, or you actually have to call someone. You're not like trading on an app. And so by tokenizing it, I think we open it up to a lot of people, and I think we could really drive a lot of interest by the next generation of wine consumers in wine.
This is not just a platform, guys. It is a movement. All right. Imagine if I was drinking real wine. Oh, God.
Then you would actually sound like Mussolini, where it's supposed to just, really briefly, just for a little bit, but then, wow.
Yeah. Okay. So Dave does this thing where he answers all of the questions that I want to ask him in like one foul swoop. And so what I think we're going to need to do soon on these Wine Wednesdays is introduce like a drinking game where I have a timer. And once Dave hits like 2 minutes, then it's going to be like, and then Dave has to drink his whole glass. That's just going to have to be we're going to have to introduce some rules. All right. So
Like an old school timer, like a,
maybe, yeah. I need like, I don't know. You know what? I'll think about that. Rodolfo, we'll take this offline.
Oh yeah, maybe you and I will control the sound effects. Like when Dave does the clapping, but we'll introduce like a submarine siren, like
Yeah. Or we'll just have you do that, which is also great. Highly entertaining. Okay, great. So, and just so that you guys have a little bit of insight into our day to day as the co-founders here, Dave also is really big on, you're getting the inside scoop today. Dave's really big on the old thumbs up and the lasers in the background on Google Meets and Zoom. Oh, are we going to get a show?
Works here.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You need to book a one-on-one with Dave, guys. Okay. Anyways. All right. So I think we've covered all that we need to cover for RektWine right now. Again, it's kind of a soft launch. So if you're keen to get some of those first bottles, you better be quick and make sure that you've got VIN, that you're holding VIN. There's another good reason to be holding VIN right now. And that is because right before Christmas, we launched a new and improved version of our rewards program. So it's now called dVIN-Earn. And we've been talking about this, for a few weeks now. And every now and then, sometimes we tell you about it, sometimes we don't. But every now and then, we go into the little dashboard and we add new rules, add new tasks, and add little Easter eggs. So right now, there's a new task. Again, here's the alpha. There is a new task in dVIN-Earn. So if you go to earn.dvin.app, you will see there's a new task that is a multiplier. So when you go in and connect your Solana wallet up in the top right-hand corner, if that wallet also holds a certain amount of VIN coin, you're going to get a multiplier of XP daily. So be sure to get in there and check it out. The sooner you get in there, the more XP you're going to get just for having checked off that task. And just get in there anyway, because there's lots of cool stuff. There's lots of good community rewards. There's, a lot of good stuff going on in there. And one of the other things that we introduced last week was the Wine Guy AI Wine Assistant. So if you haven't tried that out, this is the coolest AI wine tool out there by far. I can say that very confidently. And this is basically your personal sommelier. Like Dave was showing, everything that we do these days lives on your phone. Well, now so does your pocket sommelier. So you access it through Telegram. You can go through Earn, and it'll take you right into the Telegram to get your chat started, or you can just add, the handle for Telegram is WineGuyBot. I'll put a link on X for anyone who hasn't found it yet, but we've been posting about it for a week. So it should be pretty easy to find. If you're having any trouble, let us know. And pretty cool, you can actually choose your AI sommelier character. So you're going to have the choice between 2 wine gods or our default wine guy sommelier, who's also pretty cool, but like not quite as sassy. Yeah. So get in there, check that out. Make sure you're getting points for it through Earn. And otherwise, I think that's it. I think we've done
Look
it.
Look at that.
Yeah.
45 minutes on the nose.
Bam. Bam.
Nice job.
Awesome. So thanks, everybody. Next week, maybe we're going to add a drinking game into this. And even though I'll still be on the dry wine, or the dry wine, I'm always on the dry wine, the no alcohol wine. We'll see how I go. We'll see.
I don't know how you're going to make it through the end of the month if we're in Miami. Here's to that. Ciao.
To that.
Ciao.
Miami.
Good luck with that, Jana.
Coming next time. Thanks for joining us, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.